I remember working at Barnes & Noble, and my favorite was to have a hilarious interaction with people. And I remember I took this woman, I almost got fired. I took this woman up to, she was looking for a magazine, and I took her up on the escalator. It was Astor Place, Barnes & Noble. I took her up, and I started walking towards the magazines, and I forgot she was with me. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't like this job. Like, I don't like working here. And I forgot she was with me, and I started walking to the cafe to go get a coffee. And she, all of a sudden, we're in line at the cafe, and she's like, oh, is this where the magazines are? And I was like, I'm sorry. She goes, wait, did you forget I was with you? And I just said, my head's just not in this. And she was like, what? And I was like, I don't think I can take you to the magazine. And she was like, wait, hold on. And I told her, I said, I don't want to work here. And she's like, this isn't my problem. And I said, no, I think it is now, because I think you got to find that magazine on your own. I said, I'm gonna have a coffee and kind of sit on the toilet for a while.
Don't come with me.
Yeah, and she was like, I'm going to tell your manager. And I was like, you can. I'm trying to get fired. And then I just went. I ended up getting fired for working out in the basement in my underwear. A lot worse.
For what?
Yeah, I worked in Astor Place, Barnes & Noble. I met my first gay dude, like legit gay dude. He had just come out of the closet from like Nebraska. And he moved, no one accepted him in his hometown, and he moved to New York. And when I met him, he said, our boss, Dwayne, at the time said, everyone, tell us what you do. Tell us what you do. And I said, and I was the first one. I go, I'm Bert. I'm a stand-up comedian. He goes, no, you work at Barnes & Noble. What do you do? And the guy's like, I'm a musician. And he goes, no, you work at Barnes & Noble. And then he got to him, and he goes, what do you do? And he goes, I'm gay. And he goes, okay, you're gay. And so he goes around. So then me and him worked the information desk, and I said, you're gay? And he said, yeah. And I said, I don't really know any gay people. And he said, me either. I said, what? And he goes, that's why I came to New York. I didn't know any gay people. No one was gay where I was from. So he's like, I'm here. So I watched him like come out of the closet. It was the coolest thing. Is like he fucked a lot. Like, and he'd come home every morning. He'd come back to work with a new story, like a crazy wild adventure he was on. And so we would take the freight elevator down to the bottom, and we would light a joint. And once you had the freight elevator, no one could come in on you. Right. So we take it down to the basement. We light a joint, and he told me his stories. Like one time he came in with a black eye, and he goes, I got fucked out of my loft last night. And I was like, for real? And he was like, dude, it was crazy. You know how good sex got to be to get back into a loft and get fucked out again? And I was like, and so we would sit down, and then I realized I was using that for there, and I was like, well, I wonder if I could come down here and work out, like, take a little break from work, go down to the basement, do push-ups, do sit-ups.
With a gay guy?
No, just by myself, because once you took it down, no one could come in on you. No one could find you. No one could see what you're doing.
Right.
So I'd go down, and this is a little sidebar. The Astor Place Barnes & Noble had no air conditioning. Right. None.
Right.
So if I would have to take off all my clothes, so I didn't want to get them sweaty.
Right.
Work out.
Right.
Dry off, and then put my clothes back on.
How do you dry off?
Towels, paper towels, and or just sit there for a little bit and relax.
In the heat.
Put all my clothes back on, go back up, and just go back to work. Have a coffee. Eat Diet Fuel was big then. Diet Fuel had like 6 of those.
Right.
Be like humming like a junkie.
Right.
And then one day my boss brought me down to the basement or to his office. I remember, and he was like, hey man, you spend a lot of time in the freight elevator or in the basement, aren't you? I said, well, all the travel books are down there. He was like, you know, we have cameras everywhere, right? I was like, I didn't know that. And he was like, oh, you're fired. I was like, I quit. And he went, great. And I walked out, and then I walked out, and a week later, Will Smith discovered me. Will Smith discovered me, and I got a development deal. And
where did Will Smith see you?
His David Tochterman, the guy who worked for him, discovered me at the Boston Comedy Club. I did an article.
Oh, they didn't see the tape of you working out your underpants.
And so then I got a deal with Will Smith. I moved out here for 7 months, lived at the Universal Sheridan, developing a sitcom. And then I came back to New York, and I had money, and I had I think I got a TV show, and I went back to New York, and I went back to the Astor Place, figuring everyone knew I got fired for working out in the basement in my underwear. And I walked back up to the information desk, and the gay guy was there, and he was like, what's up? And I was like, nothing. And we went back to he said, our manager got fired. And I was like, shut the fuck up. And he's like, guess what he does for a living? He doesn't work at Barnes & Noble. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I'm still gay. He goes, guess what happened last night? And we didn't talk about me getting fired or anything. We talked about one of his sexual escapades. I didn't even tell him that I had gotten a deal. I didn't tell him.
Does he still work there?
I don't know. I really like that guy. It was a cool guy.